Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm in an unusual place today. I'm out in my garden, which does have a bearing on today's subject. I want to talk today about a piece of work called My Summer Garden, which is based largely on a whole lot of jelly printing I've done and was in an exhibition called Exuberance, which was a celebration of hand embroidery, contemporary hand embroidery in Australia. My work started in the garden and developed from a series of drawings I did here. I used a range of media. I used watercolour pastels, I used pencils, I used watercolour crayons, a whole lot of things to just capture the garden. And then I took those images which I'd used and I translated them into this work. Originally, I'd thought of using all the jelly prints together, but as you can see from these photos I have, it was clunky and it really didn't look very good. I realised fairly quickly that it wasn't really going to work effectively and that I needed to have some space between my different elements that I made up out of the jelly plate prints. Then I thought, why not cut up some prints I already have? This is an early layout. You can sort of see the pieces before I did any stitching on them, and as is my normal practice with any work like this, I just kept adding bits and pieces as seemed right at the time. As you can see, the work itself is actually quite complicated. There's a huge amount of embroidery over and around all the pieces that I printed and stitched down to the base cloth. I never do a complete plan. I might do a few variations, test things out, and I'll show you here one of the better ways of testing things out is to actually take a photo and then literally draw over it. I settled on printing out a colour photocopy of what I'd done, the section I was interested in working on, and then I literally just grabbed some crayons and had a play just to see what may or may not have worked. I'm happy to talk about the stitching at another time if you're interested, so please leave me a comment, but I'm going to focus on what I did with the jelly prints today. You can see from this work that it's very heavily embroidered across the piece in a variety of stitches. However, without the jelly prints, you can see them here and here, all over really. Without those prints, this piece would never have come about. These reflect a number of pieces that I've made, either as part of the videos you've already seen or using those same techniques. I think actually this one did feature in a previous video. These ones I know were done separately. On this one here, there are lines and they're a transfer print. So I did my drawing with crayon on paper, transferred it to my jelly plate, then I printed off with another colour, in this case a very rich gold, which gave this really lovely depth of colour to that print. Over here I used a stencil, then printed it off with another colour, and then I did a separate layer of stenciling with these green marks over the top. It was really exciting to try and join the plant shapes I developed along with the embroidery. Sometimes I used a positive shape, like this one here, where I've actually cut out the shape of the plant that I printed, and in others, like this one, I've used what's called the negative shape. So I filled in around the edges with embroidery and left the shape in the middle. Anyway, we can go into that in more detail at another time. This is a beautiful book that accompanied the exhibition, edited by Carol Cook and Sharon Peoples, and it's available to buy through their websites. And the book is available for both Australian and overseas buyers. If you're not in Australia, you have an advantage because the Australian dollar is at a bit of a low point against major currencies, which means that the book is at a very good price at the moment. I'll put a link to the websites where you can purchase the book in the notes below the video. This book is a really lovely celebration of hand stitch across Australia. The 20 artists were asked to work with the themes of colour and joy, and there's been the most wonderful response across a range of contemporary embroidery, including yours truly. It was a great opportunity to get our work seen, as sadly it's still unusual to see a book of this quality published on hand embroidery as an art form. Embroidery is still looked down on by many in the art scene, yet when you see the quality of the works produced for this exhibition, you'd understand why we're so pleased to see our work in a major gallery as well as in this beautiful book. I can't speak highly enough of the work that Sharon and Carol did in bringing the exhibition together and producing this fantastic publication. So thank you for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you again in the future. Bye.